gentlemen, boys and girls, and slayers of all ages, and welcome to Digaea 5, Alliance of Vengeance! I'm your host, as always, Nicoskilla, or Scutahawk, or Doggo, depending on where you found me. And I was planning on letting this sit until tomorrow, have a rest of the day off.
Another world crisis of extinction
What?
perpetrated by the demon emperor, Void Dark.
I don't know where anyone is.
Later generations look back in puzzlement at this historical event, the largest netherworld war, which erupted and expanded in a flash, and ended in just one night. Some call it the war with no victor, while others call it the war with no hero.
To be fair, no war has the technical victor. Everybody loses, it's just a matter of how.
It's reckless of you to invade the territory of the lost. I don't know which netherworld you're from, but we're gonna put you in your place. Madam Seraphina, at this rate they're
Up.
gonna annihilate us, dude!
May the dudes begin.
I will not abide being annihilated.
Dude!
One sardine for 20 hours of labor. That was our agreement. Now, put your backs into it. Your soft, swishy backs.
One sardine to fight a merciless battle isn't a fair trade, dude!
Never is, dude.
First of all, it's impossible for us to defeat Demon Emperor Void Dark on our own, dude!
Though it's against my upbringing to sully my own hands, this once I shall unleash my overload power, Baylor Gaze.
Meanwhile, who's this man's?
Excuse me, you right there. What do you think you're doing?
Eating, obviously. It's a fluffy rising dragon bowl, with all white breast meat from a 1,000-year-old dragon lord, and its egg. It's delicious. All right then, I'm finished refueling. Let me get rid of these guys.
All right.
You destroyed an entire squad of the Lost Army single-handedly. I found my prince.
This is going to be a fun plotline, by the way. I've played this game. It's been a while, but I've played it before. Now we get to get the introduction. The real introduction. This is our hero. I don't know if this is copywritten, but it's so good that, like, I feel wrong talking over it, but at the same time, I'm not sure whether or not I have to. Now that they're singing, I'm pretty sure I do have to talk over it. But, yeah, this is gonna be Digaea 5, dude. Should be good. That looks familiar. Not to any of us, but not to my channel, but that looks familiar to people who played Digaea before. If you haven't played Digaea, you're about to see what Digaea is all about that makes it so different from usual JRPGs.
Excuse me, please wait. My goodness. Please wait, Sir Killia.
And that is his name.
How much walking I had to do to catch up with you? I spent one whole hour walking non-stop through the desolate netherworld that is Bloodparch. At this rate, my legs will be as rock hard as a foolish Gorgon who was petrified by a cockatrice.
On a quick note, our female hero, quote unquote, is Seraphina. Her overlord power that makes her unique is called Baylor Gaze. We'll see more about Overlord powers and all that good stuff a little later, but for now, just know that our main female character is anime as hell, and by that I mean she's got a ginormous rack, and she's hardly wearing a skirt. But then again, we're also in hell, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. And our main character is Killia.
Well, Madame Seraphina didn't actually
He hits really hard.
herself, dude.
And then our main heroes, the Prinnies. They will be our defining force throughout this run of Digaea 5. We're going to try and make it so that these little dudes are going to be the best, like no one ever was.
I will have silence.
If you want to rest, take all the time you want. I'm leaving.
How cruel, Sir Killia. Surely you mustn't be planning to leave me here all alone.
You decided on your own, FALCON.
You are incorrect. Sir Killia, you decided on your own to save me from the lost. Now you must take responsibility for that decision.
That's the reason. I'm out of here.
He really is. But this is her unreasonable response.
See? You can't even dodge a simple attack. You must be exhausted, Sir Killia. If you keep pushing yourself like this, you will never defeat Demon Emperor Void Dark. In fact, you're liable to become roadkill. This gate connects to a pocket netherworld set aside for my exclusive use. Now, Prinnies, please be Sir Killia's escort.
In short, where we're at is when Seraphina doesn't get what she wants, she shoots you.
Dance in the palm of the hand of the Overlord of Gorgeous, Seraphina.
You can tell real quick, because the word gorgeous is blue, it's the name of something. Another world, actually. So, that's something to keep in mind. If something is blue in text, it's probably the name of another world. Welcome to my pocket netherworld, Sir Killia. You can walk around in here by using the left stick. I would do this in a girl voice, but I don't want to die. When you want to talk to me or the other citizens, then stand in front of them and press the X button, because the fourth wall can suck bits. If you want to change the view, press R1 or L1 to spin the camera, or press square and L1 R1 to change the zoom. This is the Netherworld Hospital. When you're injured, or anyone is injured really, come here to treat your wounds. Equipment, items. This is the Rosen Queen Co. They sell weapons, armor, and recovery items that you'll need for a battle. And when you want to go outside, please talk to the Dimension Prinny. Of course, I'll go with you, heart. Yeah, that's how we're going to pronounce that. There is stuff at the DLC shop, but first we got this. Sir Killia, we don't have to worry about being invaded by the Lost here. Please relax and enjoy yourself. Sorry, but I don't have time to waste here. Where's the exit? Ah. My, what an injury. You must have been wounded during our battle against the Lost. No, I got this scar when you shot me. Sir Killia risked his life to protect me from the Lost because he was seduced by my beauty. Yes, I knew how you feel. I know how you feel. I English good. You don't have to feel embarrassed. It's natural for men to kneel before me. Ho 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 ho. Are you listening to me? Now then, allow me to reintroduce myself, since I am going to be your master. I am the wealthiest in all the 3 worlds, the Princess Overlord of Gorgeous, Seraphina. The previous Overlord, my father, tried to arrange a marriage of convenience between me and Void Dark. I got pissed, so I ran away. You're an Overlord, but you ran away from home. What kind of Overlord are you? If Void Dark wasn't in the picture, I never would have had to dirty my feet in Blood Parch. That's why I'm out to get revenge on Void Dark. He humiliated me. You call that getting revenge? Anyway, fine. I don't have any interest in who you are. Do whatever you want. Oh Ho 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 ho! Not so fast. You are my servant. My, I just remembered, Sir Kilia. Have you been saving? Yeah, I'm on top of it. That's my Sir Kilia heart. Save your progress to record your activities. However, Sir Kilia, people tend to forget to save from time to time. Like in our Digimon Cyber Sleuth 1 run. Oh. Would you like to take extra care and save one more time? I don't really think I need to, but if you're going to be so persistent. I would go save, but we don't need to. So, real quick, let's grab the treasures. Medal of Unworth. An unopened soda. I think there's some other stuff around here. I don't remember. It's been a while. There is 12 hell. Holy shit.
You need something?
I'm sorry, we're still preparing there, sir. Alright, so, real quick. Here are our characters. I really want to change their names. Oh my god. We'll get to that in a second. Our main hero, level 3, Sir Kilia. He's a wanderer, and let's check his stats. He's proficient with a sword or his hands. He has Thimble, a hand-to-hand combat weapon, and wrinkly clothes as his starting gear. He has War Demon is his passive, or an evility. Increased stats by 2% with every attack. The evilities are considered passive abilities that all characters have access to. He has nothing special. We don't need to worry about this yet. These we don't need to worry about yet. And unit info. A warrior who eats a lot and promised to get revenge on Demon Emperor Void Dark. He's surprisingly kind for a loner. Next we have Seraphina, our gorgeous overlord. She's proficient with ranged weapons, being bow and gun. She starts off with a water pistol and some wrinkly clothes. Her ability is Queen's Temper. Increased damage dealt to male units by 50%. Gonna see a lot of that on her. Nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. Unit info. The Princess Overlord of Gorgeous, who thinks all men are destined to kneel before her. She sees Kilia as a servant. Her overload is Baylor Gaze. All male units within 5 panels will be inflicted with the charm effect for 1 turn. Next we have obviously the most important thing, our heroes. Private Prinny 1, Bruno. He's got paw gloves as his monster weapon. Wrinkly clothes, he's proficient in both types of monster weapons. His ability is Explosive Body. When thrown, will explode, dealing damage to a range of 2, equal to 50% of his maximum HP. His special skill is Trans-Prin Barrage. When you Magi change a Prinny, it's like a dream to use Prinny's skill. Nothing. They actually have their own class, and this. As you can see on the right, a Magi change type, which is a sword. We'll explain that in a minute. The Handyman of the Netherworld, destined to explode when thrown, when the one child left behind, or was the one child left behind. So Bruno was a one child left behind. Private Prinny, same thing for this one. Unit info. Obviously, the normal Prinny thing. Handyman of the Netherworld, destined to explode when thrown. Wishes things were a little more gaudy. Alright, so real quick, Magi Change is with monster units like Prinnies, you can turn them into weapons so that other characters can use them. So like I could turn the Prinnies into a sword for Kilia, or Seraphina I guess, but it'd probably be Kilia. And they can use the special Trans-Prin Barrage, which is a 3-unit single square attack. That you'll see more of that in a minute. And obviously skills have power levels of with this one is C+, so it does decent damage, but not the best. It has 170 experience, because your skills gain experience in this, levels, and SP use. As the experience and level go up, the SP used will sometimes go down, low enough to where it will be 1 cost to use the ability. Alright, our final character is Carolina, the maid. She's got a driftwood bow, some wrinkly clothes. She's proficient in nothing, really. She's got a D in fist, hand-to-hand combat, and axe combat. Everything else is a C, though, so that's pretty decent. Ability, efficient work. Once per turn, you can use an item after completing your actions. So, effectively, you could use 2 items on her turn. Maids have their own thing, and this. Mainly a loyal maid. She can enhance the power of items beyond their limits. Can and will do anything. Alright. With that, let's look at the DLC shop real quick. I know what's in here, you guys don't. So, I have everything for this. So, I can get all of these, including a Celestial Hostess character, a Kunoichi, Sorcerer, and some special printies, which we're going to use. But we're not going to use yet. For our first little bit, we're going to try to avoid the DLC shop, because some of those printies are kind of powerful.
Are you finding my pocket netherworld
But here we go.
Circilia? How do you like it?
I don't have any time to waste in a place like this.
My, I can't believe what I'm hearing from someone who eats in the middle of a battle.
That was... It's like... Haven't you ever heard that an army marches on its stomach?
You're more of a gourmand than you project, Circilia. Well, as long as you're strong, it matters not to me. You could say that this pocket netherworld is Circilia's in my love nest. Please, feel free to use anything here.
Just so you know, I have no intentions of asking anyone for help.
That is simply not possible. You see, Circilia, you and I are connected by the red string of fate.
Yeah.
It's more like a bloodstained leash than a red string of fate, dude!
You are mine, Circilia. Please, do not resist.
And what if I do?
All men are destined to become my obedient servants. Ha!
This is her Baylor gaze.
Now, Cilia, follow my orders.
I refuse.
Huh? That's odd. Ha! Ha! Now you will find me irresistible. Even if you are an overlord, you cannot resist the temptation of my overload power, Baylor gaze.
Real quick, the reason why she thinks this. So, Seraphina's overload power, her Baylor gaze, is on everything else that isn't Cilia, a guaranteed affliction. So you'll 100% guaranteed be affected by Baylor gaze. However, that doesn't work if you don't care, I guess? Like...
What are you trying to do?
Nothing, Circilia.
So she's trying to use Baylor gaze and force him. It's not working.
Let's get going.
Heart. So our first run of the combat. There's usually a demo, which will explain how combat works and everything.
My, who might you guys be?
What's wrong with you? Who goes around shooting at someone before finding out who they are?
I am truly sorry. Your social status is clearly lower than mine, and you seem like a small fry, so I took the shot.
Who are you calling a small fry? We are the aristocracy of Bloodparch. We are cracking down on anyone who looks suspicious and taxing them.
Aristocracy? But you all look so shabby.
Their lives were probably ruined by the Lost, and they have since lowered themselves to being bandits.
Shut up! Just listen. If you don't want to die, then hand over all the money you've got.
I do not even have a single hell to give to dirty bandits like you. Aren't you guys demons too? If you really need some money, then why don't you use force and take it? In any event, dirty bandits like you don't stand a chance of defeating Sir Digaea.
What are you talking about? You're gonna have to fight too.
Excuse me?
I've got something I need to do. I don't have time to protect an unsophisticated princess forever. I'll teach you the basics so that you can figure out the rest by yourself.
Are you telling me to do manual labor?
In reality, we're probably only going to use the Prinnies.
Now,
Very well, I'll fight. It seems I have no choice. However, I don't have any fighting experience whatsoever.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, given how often you've been firing your gun this whole time.
Hey! How long are you guys gonna chat? Hurry up and cough up every hell you have, or you're gonna be sorry.
Seems like they're ready to start. Prepare yourself.
Alright, so
I guess I have no choice.
once we get into it, I'll do a short explanation of how
Value for those bandits.
the combat works and probably compare it to something else. Alright, so if you guys have ever seen or played Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters Coliseum, it's similar, but not exactly. So, first, we're going to send out Private Ryan. It's arguably the best seed I think I've ever gotten for printing names. But, yeah, so, the entire map is on a grid. And your goal is to defeat all the enemies, usually. In this particular case, we're going to send our Prinnies to beat the hell out of the bad guys. In this particular case, we have the wonderful little problem of all I can really do is this. 3, 7, 2, 6. Ew. Counter. 10, dude. Oh, counter. Alright, so we'll send in Carolina, because she has the amazing passive to feed the Prinnies gum, which is our healing item. And we're going to focus on defeating Diego first. No, dude. We're going to try our best to avoid using Digaea. However, I will defeat one of the other enemies just so that I can guarantee that my Prinnies don't die. Yeah. No, dude. Sup, dude? Alright, I think we're good. Unfortunately, they are attacking our maid. So, maid will also take an attack this time. Yeah, dude. $16 damage, and the arrow for 17. Alright. This should get it. Yeah, dude. looks like your weapon mastery level has increased with our printies. So your weapon mastery level is per dealing or taking damage. The higher it gets, the better. As you level it up, you can learn weapon skills. So, you know, that's always good. For getting damage points, obviously you're going to be aggressive. You're going to go in, you're going to attack. You're not going to leave any openings. To upgrade your defensive one, you're going to take damage. You're very well for your first time. At this rate, you'll be fine. By the way, there is something on the ground. What are those things? Oh, those are the spoil of battle. They're called stage bonuses. Each stage bonus has a bunch of little things, like you can see here. 0 to 8 is just normal items. Not very exciting. They don't really... They help, especially early, but they're not like you have to get them. The top one, the one-time bonus, that's a unique item you can only get by getting level 9 in the stage. So, your goal is obviously to hit level 9 at least once in every stage. You can get it by defeating enemies with combos. There are items you can get later. Tons of things. One-time bonus is set for every stage. It's a bonus that you can only get once if you completely fill the gauge to level 9. Most of the time, it's better than the other prizes. Until you get it, the one-time bonus will remain. If you fail to obtain it, keep trying. You'll get it eventually. That's the short form. Well, that's nice. Let's completely fill the bonus gauge. You can check the bonus list from the menu to see all of the bonus items you can get from the stage. If there's a bonus that you really want, you should try your best to fill the bonus gauge. So in this particular case, we got a little bit of extra experience. And we also got MVP for a printy, so that's good. Be rewarded with bonus experience and mana for their efforts. It's a shortcut to getting strong. I'll keep the strategies for filling the bonus gauge in mind. Obviously, our goal is to make our printy like god tier. Digaea, you can now use the recruiter, dude. Hey, sorry about that. The preparations took a little longer than I thought. At the recruiter, you can recruit personnel that suit your requirements. If you feel understaffed, come to me. What great timing, Sir Digaea. Let's take a tour. You can never have too many servants. Because right now, we have 2 printies, our maid, Digaea, and Seraphina. Unfortunately, we do have that printy, Private Ryan, who kind of died. So, real quick, we can go to the Netherworld Hospital, and there's 2 neat things. So, you get points in here based on how much you heal. So if you heal up your HP to 200, you get your first reward. Same thing with SP, but to 50. And with revives, at 5, you get your first reward. And then there's your overall. So 3,200, 405. At that point, you obtain a bonus that is very, very valuable. You're here. You can recruit personnel from other netherworlds who meet your requirements from here. Alright, what should I do to get more new servants? If you want to increase the number of characters, select the top option, hire character. You'll need some money to recruit them, but I'll give you the first one for free. My, how lucky for me. Sir Digaea, let's try recruiting. Alright, first select the class you'd like to recruit. My, the variety is smaller than I thought. Why can't I just recruit a strong dragon? If you haven't earned the trust of their class, then they won't let you recruit them. Eventually, class will support you if you solve the quest they submit, or if you get famous from fighting the lost. let me briefly talk about the different classes. First, there's the warrior, or the Valkyrie. Their duty is to fight on the front lines. Warriors use their endurance for close combat, while the female, unlike the male, has high speed and specializes in hit and runs. She's also good with a bow. Next is the magician and the witch. They use magic from a distance. If you use the magic the enemy's weak to, expect high damage. The magician has stronger magic, so he's useful for fighting strong enemies. Although, he burns through SP quicker, so don't use too much magic and run out of SP before the boss arrives. The witch lacks some magical power, but she's got a lot more SP to use. So, she can use magic non-stop. Some demons are ridiculously strong against physical attacks, so you'll want a magic user in your party for sure. Next are the monks. They're experts with fists and mainly fight by taking the enemy's attack and counterattacking. The males aim for strong counterattacks, while the females are speedy and evade attacks for a truly offensive style. Next, you got the clergy and the cleric. The healers. Their combat abilities suck, but they have a key role in healing your allies. I wouldn't want to fight in a party that doesn't have any healers. The males specialize in support magic in addition to healing. They can cure ailments while they heal. While the females have really strong healing abilities. When they're fighting a strong enemy, she will be a great help. Also, as they level up, they'll earn all-inclusive curing spells like Espoir, which will be a great help. Ailments are basically cured by use of that spell or the item Fairy Dust. You should learn it as soon as possible. Next, the mage. She specializes in using items. She can use items on top of doing other actions, so she serves many roles. She also can use the attack item Throw a Knife and then attack after that. Lastly is the Prinny. Monster characters, like Prinnies, are different than humanoids. Biggest characteristics of monsters is that they can use the Magi Change command to become a humanoid's weapon. The type of weapon they become, though, through Magi Change, depends on what race they are, so make sure the weapon suits the ally. That's it for the introductions. I said a lot, but if you have a magician, witch, and a clergy cleric, you're fine for now. So, let's start by getting us a... Real quick, you can do this. See their passives. So, looking at all of them, we got Warrior's Wild Cry. Increased stats by adjacent enemy units times 15%. Valkyrie, Assault Attack. Increased damage dealt by panels moved times 10. Magician, Magic Bundle. Special skill powers increased by 30%, but 50% more MP is used. The Witch, Magical Moderation. 50% less SP used for skills. Martial Artist, Fury. Increase attack by number of counterattacks times 25%. The Fight Mistress, Rapid Movement. Increase evasion rate by panels moved times 3%, max 64%. Clergy, Medical Heal. Cure all ailments when using heal magic. Cleric, Expert Hands. Increase the effect of healing magic by 100%. And then obviously our two wonderful friends. So we're going to get the Cleric first as our freebie. Next, insert the name you'd like the recruited demon to have. Can you really find someone who meets everything we're looking for, even down to the name? Netherworlds are huge. Surprisingly, yeah, we can. Alright, I'll search for the name AAA, and oh, there's actually quite a few. This is getting sad, dude. So, we're going to name our cleric. Let's name her Theodora. Alright, next select the capability. The better the capability, the stronger the demon will be. But it'll cost you. But it's free this time, right? Yes, but you can only select between good for nothing and incompetent. My, how cheap of you. Alright, so good for nothing, you neg 5 on their stats. Incompetent, you can +1 a stat. Average +3. Skilled +6. Distinguished +8. Genius +10. Keep in mind though, it's not +1 or 3, like neg 5 +1, 3, 6, 8, 10 to a random stat. It's to your liking. So, next, the stats of the demon you want to recruit. Even if they're the same class, if one has higher capability, then their stats will be higher than average. In their class prides itself for their strength, you can ask for one with even more strength, or maybe one with stamina. On the other hand, a low capability monster may have lower stats than usual. It kind of all depends on the class. They are truly helpless. So in this case, we're going to increase the res of our healer. Now you can select the level of the demon you're recruiting if you have to pay. Next, select the level of the demon you're recruiting. You have to pay more hail for higher level recruits. Alright, can we please get one that's level 9,999? It's free after all. There's a limit to what you can select. If you want to recruit a high level demon, you have to be equally strong. So, if you want to hire a strong demon, if I want to hire a strong demon, I have to get stronger. So in this case, we can go up to level 2. Next, select the personality of the demon you want to recruit. This will not affect their stats, so choose whatever you like. In that case, I want someone who's loyal, smart, efficient, works hard, doesn't complain, and will work for free. That's impossible, dude. So this is actually their voice. So we're going to go for a saintly healer. And then finally select the color. This also won't affect their stats, so whatever you like. I'll dye them my color. Heart is their basic color scheme. Extra colors 1, 2, and 3. We're just going to go for the basic. I'll start recruiting with your selected requirements. If there aren't any problems, select yes. When you approve, you will be charged for the hail, so make sure everything is correct. It's free this time, so I won't lose any hell. Theodora has been recruited. Great job, the recruitment is complete. My, the maintenance on the Dimension Gate has just finished too. We have replenished our forces for now, so I'll let you decide whether we're going to progress or continue to recruit. Before you go into battle, make sure you don't forget to equip the recruit first. Don't send them out into battle unarmed. So, because of our wonderful powers, we should be fine. But if you look at the bottom, you can see a new character will be hired. You can hire 107 more characters. Character will be dismissed or reset.
Like this?
Getting ready. Later. Alright, let us look at Theodora. We have nothing that we can give her for aggro stuff, but everyone has wrinkly clothes, so that's good. So that means we'll have to go here. You can buy weapons and armor. So this is just your weapon shop, armor shop. It'll get better as you go, and you should look for the highest weapon mastery you have. So if your guy prefers using, if you're like Digaea, you prefer using swords or using hand-to-hand combat, you should focus on giving those characters those kind of weapons. In this particular case, we're going to get Digaea, rubber gloves. We're going to get Seraphina, a worn bowgun. And we're going to get 2 sharp bones, while also getting the cute one and just a stick. So the reason why we bought both is because there is a neat little extra. Whoops, this is the better one. So the reason why we want to get multiple weapons, even if we don't actually have a character that uses them, is because of this. You can go to here and see, let's use guns as an example. This is what the water pistol looks like. This is what the bow gun looks like. You can collect tons of different ones. They all look different, so it's really neat to have on hand.
Where would you like to go, dude?
Alright, please select where you want to go, dude. Now, much as we should progress, we're going to go back to the dried up wasteland and do a little bit of pretty boosting. Yeah, dude. 17. So he's got 3 left. Unfortunately, I can't throw the prinny because that will make it explode. But we are seeing some new techniques. Nicked for 2 damage. There are various combo attacks. So, first time you see them, they'll actually show. Every time after that, it'll just be a little, you can make it so that it's just a little, like, skipped cutscene kind of thing. In this case, we want to make sure we do as much as we can. So, pretty attack. Sup, dude? Yeah, so these will be our main fighters. However, now that we have Theodora, we don't actually need to use the maid to make sure our Prinnies are healed. We could just use Theodora. So, this Prinnie is back to full life. Sup, dude? Alright. Yeah, dude. 36. Ooh, a 3 combo. Dude. Alright, and that time we got a Pebble Axe. We only really use 2 people to attack, but that does increase the overall capability of our Prinnies. And then you can always come back and do this after every quest, which I highly recommend, because you want to make sure your guys are powerful. So, because of the fact that I don't want to have an entire hour dedicated to just powering up my Prinnies, we'll do one more to see if we can get Private Ryan to level up a little bit. I'm gonna eat you, dude. Yeah, dude. Alright, 36 damage, kills the Prinnie, so that's good. It's good damage. Revenge. So, what Revenge does is you get a temporary boost, especially to your damage. So, what would normally maybe not kill someone dead out, can now kill someone dead out. But the other thing is, after this, I will show off the wonderful, incredibly useful effect that is that you can turn off things. But right now what we want to do is we want to make sure that we can get a little bit of extra experience. So we'll defeat the cactuses. We'll pretty much be doing everything we can to give hopefully our Prinnies a bunch of This is another thing you can do. You can throw your units, so if they're not within range to attack the target that you want them to attack, you can move them and then make it so that you can attack them.
Leave it to me.
So in this case, we're going to throw Digaea. We're going to make him destroy the final cactus. And then our Prinnies will engage. All right.
Let's fix you up.
And yeah, unfortunately, that is how they're going to, how the healer is going to sound every time. Let me real quick. It's not going to really matter as of right now, but a little later on it'll come into effect. But we can turn off ally and skill animations. So that'll make it so that when we go... when we're going through, we can, we'll only see techniques that we've never seen before. So, when we first ever cast an attack or an ability or whatever, then, first ever casting we'll see, every casting after that, we'll, we won't see anything. Yeah.
You overwhelmed me with numbers in the previous battle, but it's not gonna be that easy for you this time. Even though I got him long in the tooth and I'm wounded all over, I was once the feared throwing overlord, and I'm still sharp. Lift and throw, lift and throw, lift and then throw. Well, how is that? I've reached my limit, brother.
Obviously, Logan is supposed to be a version of Hulk Hogan.
Looks like this is all a big misunderstanding, but I doubt he's gonna let us leave without a fight.
Oh, Sir Digaea, you're eating again? Acting so casual before fighting an overlord. Now that is my Sir Digaea for you.
This is a great opportunity. I'll teach you all about lifting and throwing.
As you can tell, it's what we showed off in the last fight. You can lift an ally or an enemy and then throw them anywhere you want, within range. Digaea, I understand, lift and throw, very useful, dude, but monsters like us can't perform the lift command, dude. Does that mean we don't have a future? Don't worry, monsters have their own specialties. Monsters have Montoss. Instead of lift, monsters have Montoss. It's the same thing, except for it's a little more aggressive, I guess. So, obviously, our first thing to do is attack. Want to try and get our Prinnies up in level as soon as we can, just because of the sheer fact that Prinnies suck. Alright, so now that our two Prinnies have done their duty, we're going to start moving them throughout the level. Another thing to keep in mind, as much as it may not seem like it right away, there is other particular things about leveling up your characters that we're going to be using and hopefully abusing throughout the run. In this particular case of our Prinnies, it's not going to seem like it, because they don't really have anything interesting that they ever actually do. So the goal for them is just strictly to stick together as our little Prinnie squad and just blast away, dude. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't really work the way you want it to for this. But we're going to be doing this the obvious easy way because it's I'm the one who's playing so clearly, and we're going to try it the easiest possible way. Which is going to involve using our printies to attack, dude. As we go, we will still continue to destroy the boxes. Can you not? So we do want our printies to destroy everything that they can because of the sheer fact that there's some decent stuff, including a rare treasure up there. So that will be something that we want to make sure we have. The downside is he is the overlord of throwing. So if he, by some unfortunate circumstance, decides to lift and throw us, we're gonna have a bit of a bad time because he will make us explode, dude. Unfortunately, we may very well have to... Oh, maybe not. Sup, dude? Luckily, our little printy dudes got healing items. So they can save each other from death, dude. But we do want to make sure that they get everything they need. And we also kind of want to make sure that the printies don't die very quickly. I say not healing Bruno. Alright, time to die, dude. That'll do it, dude. Then we got more gum, which is great because printies can't heal otherwise. We do want to see the demos because, you know, Let's Plays and all.
Let me tell you something, brother. This ain't over. The Lost have taken everything from me, but I still have my pride as an overlord, dude. I, Logan, the growing overlord, shall exact my revenge against you someday, dude. You better believe it, brother.
Looks like he was just one more victim of the Lost.
As you guys can tell, there's going to be a whole lot of dude going on in this run. Because that's just how it is.
You should be just fine without me. Alright, looks like this is goodbye.
No, you are mine, Sir Killia. Wherever you go, even if you go to the ends of Celestia, I shall follow you.
God damn it, dude.
Your objective is to defeat Demon Emperor Void Dark, correct? My objective is to erase Void Dark and rupture the marriage of convenience that my father decided upon on his own. Which means we are both in the same boat. We both seek to defeat Void Dark. It's more like we're husband and wife.
Or not.
Did you jump to that conclusion?
Well, maybe not husband and wife, but we do share the same objective. So don't you think it'd be more efficient to work together?
I can't see how working with someone who has no fighting experience would be efficient.
I will make sure I never drag you down. So please, Sir Killia, let me stay by your side.
What you're saying and what you're doing are pretty contradictory, don't you think?
Well, that's because I'm a demon.
Fact. Alright. Killia, we can now use the quest shop, dude. Quest shop is now open. There are already a lot of quests from many different netherworlds. Does anyone want to handle these? Anyone? Please? Oh man, they look so busy, dude. Killia, you need to hurry up and help them. Aren't you guys gonna help? No, it's better we leave jobs to skillful people like you. I mean, we're printies, dude. Ah, look at this quest, dude. Discover Kilia's weakness. The reward is 1 million sardines. I'll do it, dude. Leave it to us. Kilia can now use the request form, dude. Alright. And then when there are quests like this, or not quests, but notifications saying, hey, a Prinny wants to talk, it doesn't have to be any specific one. Sir Kilia, you don't know anything. You couldn't ask for more than to be allowed to be by the side of the wealthiest, most beautiful woman in the universe. Why am I getting yelled at? Sigh, I suppose I must show you just how fortunate you are, Sir Kilia. Prinny! Did you call me Madame Seraphina, dude? Aren't you happy that you became my servant? Of course, every day is simply a repetition of regrets, dude. Next! What's up, dude? Answer truthfully, aren't you happy to be serving me? It's a funny joke, dude. Next! And so one after another, the Prinnies became flowers scattered across the battlefield. About that battle. Oh, is something bothering you? Was that really your first fight, like, ever? Of course it's true. I make the Prinnies carry anything that's heavier than a cake. Taking that into consideration, you handle those pistols pretty well. Whatever. For the upcoming battles, you should gain experience so that you can protect yourself. Oh, ho, ho, ho. There's no need to worry. I've already got that covered. I've already reached master level when it comes to combat. What kind of joke is that? Madame Seraphina, take this, dude. Dude. How's my progress? Let's leave your progress aside for now. That Prinny looks to be unconscious. Worry not, I hit him with the back of my sword. Hit it with the back of my sword with a gun. That's master level in its own way. In short, he literally just called her an idiot. As you can tell, this is going to be an exciting run. So let's go check out the quest board, dude. Alright, so you can accept any quests. Sometimes you'll get money, items, whatever. In these cases, we can get a thief, which will require us to get the brawler to rank 2 or better, which requires us to have those. The archer, healer / fighter, and the gunner. Oh, and the armor knight, and I think one more? Yes, the magic knight. So these secret scrolls can teach you abilities just by consuming them. This one is just kill martial artists. Do that pretty easily. This is you be able to use star. That's nice. And just this one is kill any 7 targets. So that should be fine. However, that does mean that in order for us to gain some of the new classes, we're gonna need to do some recruiting. We're gonna need to recruit one of each class type. So, much as I loves me some dudes, we'll name this one Lily. That should be fine. We'll make her skilled with that attack to 20 and her speed just a little bit.
There! Yeah! Let's do our best! I did it!
We'll go with this one. We can change the color of predominantly her hair. Let's give her silver hair. Alright, Lily has been recruited. That is our fighter. And we're gonna need a brawler as well, so we will make this one. This one is Mela. Her hit and her attack.
Got it. Right, right. Say. Food, food.
All right. I'll just use the regular wind spinner. And then we have our healer, so let's also get a mage. Call this one... You know what? This works out much, much better. And yes, I was very tempted to do something very rude. Yeah, we do want to increase the SP. And this will be our fire mage.
Magic. I don't want to.
Sounds about right. That looks about right. Alright, so we've now obtained a variety of characters. So our goal now is to simply gear them up. So we can make this one a spear user, a bow user, or a sword user. This one is just strictly hand-to-hand. And this one uses magic, so that's good. But I don't really think I'm gonna have her use a sword. Like I don't think she's gonna be using a bow. I'm not sure about a spear. I think I'll give her a spear for now. Yeah. I might change that later. I don't know.
Let's fix you up.
And we'll make sure to heal our two printies, because those are our main men. Did. Alright, Blood Parch. We'll do Shriveled Vein once more, as this does give us access to a secret treasure. That we can give a little bit more experience to our printies did. We could also be leveling our other characters, but as of right now, because of the kind of run, we're going to want to do this. If only because of the fact that this is definitely going to be one of those things where we need to make sure everyone is within their respective level ranges, so we don't want to get too far ahead and our printies be crap. Bruno can destroy that, and Ryan can attack him. And all the while, they're increasing their weapon masteries, so that's fantastic. Yeah, dude. And this also obviously helps us with our little problem of having to deal with some of the martial artists. .48, so that one is the dead. So we'll make sure to destroy the boxes now. We're still within range for him to just sit there and shoot, so that's good. Alright. Doing pretty good, dude. Unfortunately, we're not actually grinding very effectively right now, just because of the fact that it's so early on, so enemies don't really take a whole lot to kill. But even if we aren't able to get much XP from killing them, we are getting little bits here and there, which does help out. Alright, let's go and heal up real quick, just to guarantee. Also, we made sure to complete one of our quests, so that's good. We can conclude the quest, Tips on Wind, which is going to give us the Wind Blessing. Fortunately, we did not get the... it's just gone. Clear any stage 5 times, kill a single pretty, kill 3 boxes, and some cats. So, obviously we have an easy goal, which is simply to clear some stages. I'm going to be doing a lot of off-screen grinding in this as well, just because of the fact that we are going to get to a place where we need to. So I'm going to have to make sure that before we get to certain parts of the game, I can actually, you know, be proper level.
Even though it's what Sir Boyd Dark Order, fighting all these pieces of crap is dulling my skills.
Then, can I take you guys on?
Looks like there are still some who seek to oppose Demon Emperor Void Dark's elite forces.
I'll give you a choice. Obey us or die.
I refuse to do both.
What?
You're mistaken if you thought all demons would grovel at your feet, lost cretin. As a matter of fact, you are the ones who will be groveling. All men are destined to serve the Overlord of Gorgeous, Seraphina.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we're like never going to see her actual Overlord skill, just because of the sheer fact that she's not actually going to be a big part of our team. But we are going to make sure that off-screen we get our certain heroes to where we really want them to be. In the case of this particular quest, we just want to divide and conquer. So, I'm pretty much just gonna do this. I say divide and conquer, what I mean is be idiots until we can have the printies level up far enough. Luckily, our printies are really powerful for where we are, so that's good. Unfortunately, I don't think we can get up there, but we'll figure that out when we get there. The other thing that's kind of unfortunate is that printies don't really have a ranged skill. And imps do, so we're probably going to get to the point where we're going to need to try to find some kind of strategy around dealing with the enemies at hand. But right now, this is just an easy way to deal with the enemies. Plus, like, we're pretty guaranteed to be able to win this, because 2 printies, both level 4. We're doing pretty decent for our damage at the moment. And we obtained a bomb. It's pretty easy, dude. Unfortunately, the bomb isn't something we can actually use at the moment. Also, that right there is what I mean by if you haven't seen a skill before, it'll just show it to you the first time. So even though we 100% have seen certain, say, like printing skills and stuff, like we've seen heal before, so we're not going to see heal again. But what we haven't seen was fire, so that time we've seen the full animation for it. Every subsequent time, though, we won't. So keep that in mind.
Impossible. We, the lost, were defeated? Who are you?
Could you be Red Magnus? The Overlord who has a bounty on his head? Quick! We have to call for reinforcements immediately!
Red Magnus mistook me for someone else.
Did they say Red Magnus?
Do you know him or something?
Yes, I do. Just thinking about him is giving me a headache. Red Magnus is the overlord of Scorching Flame, known and feared for being violence incarnate. He is boorish, has absolutely zero tact, and has less intelligence than an orc. In fact, he's got the brain of a monkey.
You must really hate that guy.
I do. The netherworlds of Scorching Flame and Gorgeous have been at each other's throats since my 7 times great-grandfather's time. I have never had a pleasant experience whenever Red Magnus has gotten involved. I don't want to ever see that man again. But I have a bad feeling.
Alright, so that explains a new thing for us. But we obviously still need to do this every single time. Oh, and also we got a, we can receive the Brawny Muscle Prize. Which, as a neat little interesting note, for those of you who remember, or might remember at least, the Prinny's ability, Explosive Body, is 50% of their maximum HP. So right now, they do like 24 or something like that. 28, maybe? I don't know. However, if I say equip this one with a Brawny Muscle, he'll gain an extra 44 to his overall HP, and in turn, his explosive body will also increase in destructive power. You and Red Magnus seem to be on bad terms. What kind of guy is he? To sum it up in one word, a musclehead. That's pretty broad. I haven't seen him in a while, but whenever that monkey gets involved in something, it always goes downhill. If possible, I would like to never see him again. You're that prejudiced against him? He seems kind of interesting to me. Other than being a musclehead, does he have any interesting characteristics? Let me see. He's 1.5 times as tall as you, Sir Killia, and with all his muscles, he weighs about 4 times as much as you. His messy hair looks like a burning flame. He has an impressive-looking horn, and always has a cocky expression on his face. I see. There, it's done. Huh? What's done? Here it is. What? It's a sketch of that Red Magnus guy. I drew it based on your descriptions. What a unique drawing. I'm not sure if I should call it avant-garde or revolutionary. In short, he's not very good at art.
Let's fix you up.
I understand his feels. So, this guy is doing 51 damage with his explosive body at the moment. Which, considering that he's level, like, 4, that's a lot. Alright, now to the immovable atrium. Still rocking on with those wonderful, wonderful Prinnies. Now that I understand the spirit of battle, let's drive them back. You seem to be quite delighted, but if you don't check the enemy's abilities, you could be in trouble. Abilities. Tutorial. Abilities are those things every character has. Example, that orc over there has the ability Group Strategy. This will enhance his abilities for every ally that's within 2 panels of him. If you jump in without checking, you might end up being surrounded by a group of enhanced orcs. That was a close call. We have abilities as well. My ability enhances my ability every time I attack. You can check the abilities of each character from the status screen. Mine is Queen's Temper, and its effect increases. Its effect is to increase damage against male units. My, how wonderful. It's the perfect ability for me. Anyway, if you understand the qualities of the abilities, you can fight better. Make sure to check the status screen. In short, explosive body. And also, strongest units. That is our goal for this run. Strongest units must be the Prinnies. Luckily, that's pretty easy when all you have to do is run at them and slap them with your Prinnies. This one will actually live with 4 HP. Oink. So, another thing that you guys can probably tell is that some of the sometimes the characters go into a rage mode, which at the moment doesn't really matter, but a little later on it'll come into play. For characters that have an overload, that's how they would activate it, by going into their berserk mode, their rage mode. When they do that, they gain sometimes pretty significant boosts and sometimes not very significant boosts at all. But as of right now, you can tell that we're taking a lot of damage, but we're not dying. Probably wonder why that's happening the way it is. But we obviously still have the wonderful problem of we need to heal the Prinnies whenever we can, because they get low pretty quick. Looks like your skills level went up. By using your skills, you'll gain experience points with them. When you get enough experience points, your skills will level up. When you level up a skill, you decrease the XP or the SP cost. Even if the skill costs a lot of SP to use, you can increase its level to lower the SP cost. Use skills aggressively to try and level them up. Another thing that you can do is obviously, if you're depending on how you're playing, you can make it so like your healer has like crazy healing potential. And so when you do that, instead of it being, say, my healer has, I don't know, let's say they have the ability Giga Heal. Huge heal. Huge. Normally, Giga Heal is, you know, it's huge. It's a really big heal. It's much, much more health than normal heal. So it's gonna cost a ton of SP to use. But if you upgrade the level of the skill by using it, whether to heal yourself or heal your allies, that's gonna be the play. So in this particular case, we can level up the skill a little bit because 3 of our characters are a little low on HP. So, for now, we're going to be able to get her pretty close. Not to the point where she has her skill fully leveled, but pretty decently. And then there's the things like this. You can see her equipment, so she has a toy bow and a pot lid. There's certain characters, like the thief, that have the ability to steal, as you would assume a thief does. And it may not sound like it's a big deal to be able to steal items from enemies, but in some cases, you can get some pretty decent items that way, and it's a really good thing to abuse when you can. As you can see in that one, we would have gotten a woodcutter's axe, but I think that's a golden woodcutter's axe. So it's a woodcutter's axe, but it's like a very high rarity one. Alright, so with that, we are almost done what I will consider chapter 1 of the run. But we did also just get something that's... Oops. We did get something that's very important to have, especially for Theodora, which is going to be the common orb. It increases her res by 27 points as well as her SP by 25. So, much as that doesn't seem all that great, it's that great because that gives her a few more extra casts of her healing. And then obviously we have to give her her mana back.
Where would you like to go, dude?
So, we'll now be going to the sterile atrium, and I think this will be the end of the chapter. Yeah.
You don't even think that you can oppose the lost without suffering a consequence.
So the play is going to be, we'll complete this chapter, talk to anyone, buy some new items if we can, maybe recruit another guy or so, and then a large portion of the grinding or upgrading my characters and stuff, that'll be done completely off screen. That way you guys don't have to watch me grind for 100 hours. I'm probably not going to actually have that, but you don't have to watch me grind for that long. So whatever we do on stream is going to be somehow progressing the game state, whether it be going through plot or doing like a side quest here or there. But anything that's just repetitive action until I complete what I have to do, that's going to be done off screen. So like I won't go to any new areas off screen. It'll only be on cam or on screen for the streams. And I'll be focusing on like grinding up my printing levels, stuff like that, off screen so that it's not just repetitive BS. But if you guys want, let me know in the comments below, and I could actually probably turn that into a Twitch stream if you guys want to have just like a chill day where we just grind up a little bit. Let me know in the comments.
Don't make me laugh! Red Magnus challenges you lost jabronis to a fight! Just bring it!
Can you guys tell there's some wrestling, like some WWE wrestling references in this game? I don't know why either. It's just a thing for some reason.
That guy.
My, so my bad feelings proved to be true. Yes, Sir Killia, that monkey is indeed Red Magnus. As always, he is nothing but a musclehead. I bet his brain is made of stone golems.
I'll give you one last chance. Obey or die.
Shut your mouth! If you're not gonna come to Red Magnus, then Red Magnus will super go to you! You jabronis are pathetic! Your lost superiors would be shocked if they found out! You couldn't possibly be Red Magnus's real opponent! Now hurry up and fetch your bastard of a boss, Void Dark!
He's like a vicious dog.
Ah! This guy eyes full of fighting spirit. You must be Void Dark. What? Which means the Demon General of the Lost is finally making his entrance.
This monkey. Does he truly not recognize me?
The Overlord of Scorching Flame, Red Magnus. Looks pretty tough.
Eating again?
It's endangered pork ramen, made with megaton pork and a broth made of chimera beef and Great King whalebone.
You've got guts. Eating a meal right before going one-on-one with the Supreme One. If you're hungry, then the Overlord of Scorching Flame, Red Magnus, will super feed you the highest quality fire.
I'm excited to see how we do with Brunies on this.
Fighting spirit. Ordinary demon. Are you the Lost Demon General? Have you come to take the head of the Supreme One?
No. My business is with Void Dark.
Did you pick a fight with that piece of monkey crap or something? Is that so? Red Magnus never imagined someone else besides the Supreme would ever do that. That makes us allies. But I'd like to say, when men face each other on the battlefield, they can't stop the fight.
No, I don't mind stopping.
Whoa, are you serious? Red Magnus would be super happy to fight with a strong guy like you.
This is kind of his entire thing right now.
You've got good taste.
Red Magnus just wants to fight.
Red Magnus is super excited. So,
Now he activates his overload skill.
What the?
this is my overload skill, Super Olympia. It's a super ability that doubles my size and power and overwhelms all my enemies. Just so you know, when the time limit runs out, Red Magnus will return to normal size and will be a little sore.
So, we can actually... I think we can get an ending here. So, that's Red Magnus. He's in his overload state. So, he's gonna be pretty hefty to beat. So here's the explanation of Revenge Mode Overlords. First, the condition where it looks like Red Magnus is bursting with electricity. That's Revenge Mode. To get to this condition, you'll have to fill up your Revenge Gauge. Revenge Gauge? You can check the Revenge Gauge by looking at the far left part of the character's stats. This gauge symbolizes the character's rage and desire for vengeance. In this case, the orc has none. You're talking about this? You're talking about this? Dude, how can I raise my rage and desire for vengeance? There's several ways to fill up the revenge gauge. Number 1, you or your allies take damage. Number 2, your allies are defeated. Number 3, you defeat an enemy that is also in revenge mode. When you're in revenge mode, you get the following benefits. Your critical rate becomes 100%. Your SP cost of all skills becomes 1. Reduce all damage taken by 25%. And you also get access to your overload. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And then he's explaining that there are things called power fragments. We don't really need to know about those yet, but effectively you can find certain items here or there, and they will give you just straight up the ability to learn a skill. It may not be very good, or it may have, like, there'll be something about it that's just not the greatest. But in this particular case, with what Red Magnus is doing, he is in his Super Olympia form, and so instead of him having normal stuff, he's got his nail bat and his brawny muscle, which is his normal equipment. But when he's in this state, he has, well, I think that's his normal ability: decreased defense of target during an attack by 50%. Boulder Crush. And there it is. Become giant for 3 turns and increase stats by 40%. And while you're giant, you have a attack called Body Press. Just a pretty big AoE attack. It's rather strong. It's kind of annoying. But right now, we're just gonna send our printies in to do what they do. Ooh, that, however, is a bit of a problem. This is where Theodora is gonna come in, but we're gonna need her to be thrown in. So, Killy is kind of just our throw slave at the moment. We don't want to use him for combat because he'll actually level up, and we're doing a Prinny state game, so our goal is to just strictly abuse Prinnies. Make those our long-standing allies to defend the day. Unfortunately, I don't know if I leveled up me or him. I feel, very unfortunately, like I may have leveled up him. It's not too good, dude. Lift Theodora. Throw over there. Hoping Red Magnus. Alright, he's on the Prinnies. That's not terrible. However, we do need to find a way to save Private Ryan. Now she gets to use her kind of unique skill. We're feeding the Prinny as much gum as we can. Unfortunately, didn't really do any damage to that. Oh, that's not good. %100% chance of a crit. Unfortunately, she doesn't really have a good weapon. Fortunately, we have this. And we have her. He's got a weakness not to fire, but to water. So right now our mage isn't necessarily doing a great, but Petite Slicer. I think, yeah, our mage just died. Alright. Critical for 0, which is kind of unfortunate. Alright, Private Prinny has been upgraded to Captain Prinny.
All men are my servants.
Let's go.
Unfortunately, it doesn't appear that we can really do much with this, but we'll throw him over there. Try and get our Prinny as close to the combat as we can. We do, however, not really have any This is gonna be a tough one. Yo-yo trick. Yeah, that's the problem right there. And there are 2 more enemies, so that's not good, obviously.
It's my turn.
And Seraphina does nothing for me, so she's kind of here just to strictly heal up the Prinny, honestly. But then that happens. That sucks. So this is the downside of this. He does a lot of damage. I think we just got an ending, actually.
You're good, just as Red Magnus expected. But don't think you tasted Red Magnus's full power. The real fun super starts now. Whoa, hey! Don't tell Red Magnus that this is all you've got.
I didn't expect him to be this strong.
So, what we're gonna do...
Lost to a muscle-headed monkey? What a disgrace.
Red Magnus thought he was facing a worthy opponent.
I think... if this qualifies as an ending, that's unfortunate, but...
Well, there's no denying it. No one can stand
if it just brings us back to our thing, that's fine. But, regardless... what we're gonna do is...
Void Dark,
between
Red Magnus, the super strong overlord,
now
the super defeat you.
and the next episode...
No one knows what happened to the Scorching Storm Overlord, Red Magnus, after he challenged Demon Emperor Void Dark.
yeah. Technically, that is an ending. Yeah. Cuts... triggers this and everything. But, what we're gonna do is we're going to end the stream here. And, tomorrow we will beat the Scorching Flame over the Scorching whatever, Scorching Storm Overlord. And we're gonna make sure that everyone is a little bit stronger, because right now our Prinnies, though good, aren't great. And we don't really have anything else going for us with that, so we're gonna try our best to, you know, boost them up a bit, see what we can do with that. Maybe even try and boost up some other things as well, just so that we can make sure that the Prinnies themselves can actually survive boss fights, because as of right now, like, I'd like them to be able to, but they really can't, because they are Prinnies, and Prinnies don't do much. But, I hope everybody enjoyed our first video of, of Digaea 5. So if you did enjoy, if you enjoyed playing as much as I enjoyed playing, then definitely stick around, because there will be more. There will definitely be more Digaea 5. So come back, check the channel again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time, and we will be playing more Digaea 5. Hope everybody enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out all the links in the description below to the Facebook, the Discord, the Patreon, and the Twitch. You can support us on the last two. And I hope everybody has a great night. Good night, and good luck.